So yes, so Starlight is a very different beast, but it kind of was born out of Nightfall. So if you like, Nightfall is an application that kind of does one thing well. So it does transfer of ERC-X tokens. If you want to do something else with it, well, it doesn't do that. So you'd have to go and write another application that did do what you wanted. But actually writing a blockchain application that incorporates privacy is actually quite a tricky thing to do. There's a small band of people who are quite good at that and can do it, but it's not something that we found internally your average developer was happy to tackle. So we built it actually more or less to help our developers internally. And you can think of it as a compiler. So it's a compiler that outputs zero knowledge solutions. So the idea is most developers, or most blockchain developers, can confidently write a smart contract. Now, if you think about it, a smart contract is a brilliant thing because it's a very precise encapsulation of the business logic you want to do in quite a formal way. That is a fantastic starting point for making a privacy version of that business logic. So wouldn't it be good if you could take that smart contract, feed it into a compiler, and out comes a private version? And that, in essence, is what Starlight does. It does exactly that.
So you can think of it as kind of like Starlight is this like machine where you have a smart contract that maybe says, maybe ERC20 or something, and you put it through Starlight and then it marks it up like as a private contract where variables have or functions are levels of, privacy that you define. And then now that can be fed into what?
Yeah, so you've got it. So actually so there's a couple of things there. You do have to mark up your smart contract before you feed it in. And I missed that out because of in interest of brevity, but that's actually quite an important step. So, you don't necessarily just want everything to be private. And even if you did, the question is private from whom, under what circumstances? And you get into all sorts of things like that. So the upshot is you have to mark, say, a variable in your smart contract. I want this private. And I want basically only I can change it or other people can change it. They can increment it and make decisions like that. So you mark it up, you feed it into Starlight, and then what actually comes out is a complete application, because that's a problem. I mean, if you run a normal compiler, what do you get out? Well, you get bytecode out at the end, at least with some compilers. With Starlight, you actually get three things out. You get a Solidity smart contract, which you deploy to the blockchain, which is kind of going to manage your privacy application on chain. You get some zero knowledge circuits, which enable you to make provable statements about your logic, which you need to make the ZKP work. And then finally, you get some Node.js glue logic that makes it all work together and will run a little server for you. The upshot of it is, if you had let's say I had a smart contract and it had a function pay Hudson, which I would call to pay you some ether or something.
Would love that. I love you giving me money.
Actually, but if I did write that contract and fed it into Starlight, what I'd get out is an API, HTTP API with the same call. So I would now call an HTTP endpoint on a server, pay Hudson. This time it would do some zero knowledge calculations off chain, computer proof, send that on chain. The on chain part of the Starlight output would then verify that proof. If it's all good, Hudson gets paid. The only difference is he gets paid privately.
What is the best way for people who are interested in learning more about this, especially developers? Where can they go to learn more and to either ask questions or read up on this?
Okay, so the best place to start is our GitHub repositories. Search for EY blockchain. You'll find all the public domain stuff there. They have readmes, they have links to Git books. That's the place to go.